reporters are standing by live.
And new this year, ABC Action News is live on your favorite streaming device. Stay with us all night long because our special live coverage continues past 8 o'clock on these platforms.
The race for governor is the big one to watch tonight. Ron DeSantis and Adam Putnam are the front runners on the Republican side of the ticket. DeSantis getting the endorsement from President Donald Trump and Putnam with support from Attorney General Pam Bondi.
On the Democratic side, the candidates who are leading the polls and hoping to win the nomination are Gwen Graham, the daughter of former Florida Governor Bob Graham, and Philip Levine, the former mayor of Miami Beach.
ABC Action News anchor Paul LaGrone will be here with us tonight and is looking at the new results coming in from the big races across the state. Paul?
Yeah, the polls just closing. Jamison and Wendy, and let's get into it here. The top two names on the Republican side, Ron DeSantis, Adam Putnam. DeSantis coated in yellow, Putnam coated in that pink color there. And let's drill down to Florida as we click on the state view here and get you closer to what we're going to be looking at here tonight. I'm actually going to be able to go county by county and break down the numbers as they come in. Now, of course, the big disclaimer here, make nothing of this because the polls have just closed, so obviously the math has not been calculated yet. They're still counting up the vote. But when they do, we will be able to go county by county, not only tell you who is leading in that county, but eventually who took the actual county, and we'll be able to see that county vote by county vote. The two big candidates we're obviously watching here tonight on the Republican side, Ron DeSantis and Adam Putnam. And a little bit later, we'll actually break down the Democratic side as well. Back to you.
All right, Paul, thank you. Ron DeSantis earned the endorsement of President Donald Trump that he hopes will help propel him to November's election.
And ABC Action News reporter Julie Solomon is live at his watch party at the Rose and Shingle Creek Hotel in Orlando. So, Julie, what's the feel out there?
Wendy, the room confident tonight that he will get the win he is hoping for. Dozens of supporters already trickling into the ballroom here at the Rose and Shingle Creek Resort. Now, Congressman Ron DeSantis going up against Adam Putnam for the Republican ticket in the race for governor. DeSantis stopping yesterday in Palm Harbor. He grew up in Pinellas County. He also stopped in 5 other cities as part of his big push before Election Day. He stopped in Fort Myers as well as West Palm and Daytona Beach. That is where he ended his campaign stops yesterday. Again, the room very confident that he will win this after being endorsed by President Trump. Reporting live in Orlando, Julie Salmon, ABC Action News.
Julie, thank you. From the DeSantis party in Orlando to the party for Adam Putnam in Lakeland.
Yeah, our live coverage of the Republican side of the ticket continues with our Maricela Burgos live at the Terrace Hotel there. Maricela, what's the mood out there?
It is a crowded room tonight here at the Terrace Hotel in Lakeland. You can see there are a ton of supporters here. Adam Putnam grew up about 20 minutes from here in Bartow, so plenty of people here hoping that he will win that Republican ticket tonight. He has always said his message is putting Florida first, and the supporters here tonight told me they believe he will do that. If he wins, of course, we will be here waiting for him to come here and bring you the latest from Lakeland. Reporting live, Maricela Burgos, ABC Action News.
Maricela, thank you. Meanwhile, it's a competitive landscape on the Democratic side. Candidate Gwen Graham is hoping to hold the office her father once had.
ABC Action News reporter Ryan Smith is live from her watch party tonight at the Social Club in Orlando. Ryan?
Jamison and Wendy, that's right. I'd say optimism is the key word here. We expect supporters to start packing this bar and concert venue here in downtown Orlando within the next hour. But take a look behind me. You can see the stage is set, and the candidate, Gwen Graham, is here. We just got back into the main watch party area here after a security sweep. I'm told she was also using this time to practice speeches as results start to file in tonight. A lot of excitement we're seeing here, even though it is empty and quiet right now. Of course, that is all going to change in the next hour or so. The former Congresswoman, for most of this campaign, was leading the four-way race in a very crowded and competitive primary, but it has since closed in the election gap in the last few days. That's the latest live in downtown Orlando. Ryan Smith, ABC Action News.
Ryan, thank you. Candidate Philip Levine last held the office of mayor for Miami Beach, and that's where his watch party is tonight.
ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska is there for us. Michael? Now on ABC Action News is live on the air and on your favorite streaming device as those results come in.
Yeah, and when we come back, two very familiar faces in Florida politics are here in our house. They will provide their insight on what might be going through the minds of the candidates at this hour. Stay with us.
ABC Action News is always on. Watch non-stop coverage of Democracy 2018 right now on your favorite streaming device. Download the ABC Action News app.
Joining me now, two familiar faces in the political arena, Congressman David Jolly and Congressman
Well, the polls have only been closed for about 8 minutes now, but the numbers are still coming in slowly. So let's go to the election results we have so far.
Of course, where we go to the governor's race, the Republican side of things at this point, of course, 0-0, everything across the board that we're reporting at this hour as we go to the Democratic side.
Yeah, this is still the Republican side. There's 8 candidates there. But again, the Democratic side, we are watching closely Gwen Graham and Philip Levine to see who pulls ahead. But again, the poll's just 8 minutes closing, so no results are coming in just yet.
As we look at the race for the state attorney general on the Republican side, again, 0-0 straight across the board as we look at the Democratic side as well.
There you see him, Sean Shaw versus Ryan Torrens. Again, 0%, no precincts reporting as of yet, but certainly we'll stay on top of it and bring you the results as soon as we can. And now here's Jameson with some insight into the primary election day. Jameson?
Joining me now, two familiar faces in the political arena, Congressman David Jolly and Congressman Patrick Murphy. Both of you sat on opposite sides of the aisle in your time in Washington, but you guys had something in common as candidates. A day like today, Election Day. Take me through the minds of the candidates now that the polls have closed. They're sitting behind closed doors. What are the nerves like right now?
You're exhausted, to be honest. I mean, and first of all, congratulations to all the candidates that put themselves out there. They're volunteers. They all worked very hard to get to tonight. You know, a little bit of inside ball game. I think most candidates have an idea already of which way it's going to go. When you're talking about statewide races for governor, for attorney general, they've been in the field. They know where the polls are. But there are some races that you're not sure of right now, particularly that Democratic primary for governor. I think there's a lot of nerves with a couple people right now wondering if they'll come out on top.
Yeah. Do you remember what this night was like?
Yes, it's no doubt nerve-wracking leading up to it. Yeah. But when I got to election night, you knew it was pretty much determined one way or the other. You're going to work your butt off that day, but most people had already made up their mind where they're going to vote and how they're going to vote. So it's an exhilarating night, but it's exhausting, as David said. And as you know, you play out the next couple hours here of the evening, most candidates are looking at certain precincts. They know what precincts could determine the election. They're going to look at the turnout there. They're going to look at one or two areas, and that's probably going to be their indicator if they're going to win or lose.
The big story today, record early voter turnout at this point. Right. Does that say anything for tonight? And can you read the tea leaves? Does that mean anything for November?
I think the energy is still there, right? People are following politics like they never have before. You know, in the Republican primary for governor, where it's a two-person race, we know that there is motivation, has been, frankly, since Donald Trump became president and kind of took over the Republican Party, if you will. But the energy on the left is where we need to focus in on tonight. The fact that 5 candidates, all with viability, record turnout among Democrats, this is an energized group of Florida voters. Yeah,
Philip Levine at Gwen Graham's heels and Andrew Gillum making a last-minute push here.
It'll be interesting to watch. I mean, that race certainly is not settled yet. And what we're seeing, too, is the record amount of candidates. Every single open state Senate seat is being contended. Over 100 Democrats are running for the House. All the state offices are being contested, commission down to school board. You're seeing a lot of contests, which helps lead to this record turnout.
Okay. All right. Congressman David Jolly, Congressman Patrick Murphy, thank you for joining us tonight.
Good to be with you.
Thank you, guys.
ABC Action News is always on. Watch non-stop coverage of Democracy 2018 right now on your favorite streaming device. Download the ABC Action News app.
Welcome back. Adam Putnam is the state's Commissioner of Agriculture, but he wants to be your next governor.
ABC Action News reporter Marisela Burgos is live at the Terrace Hotel in Lakeland tonight with his supporters at this hour. Getting pretty loud out there, Marisela.
Hey guys, well listen, it's a little bit hard to hear because this is crowded inside the Lakeland Hotel. It's called the Terrace Hotel in downtown Lakeland, where you see lots of supporters hoping Commissioner Putnam will win the Republican ticket tonight. Earlier, he spent the day stopping by cities along I-4, waving signs, hoping for some last-minute votes. His entire campaign has been about putting Florida first. His supporters believe him because they say that's exactly how he's living his life.
From day one, he doesn't need training. He knows the issues. He's communicated the issues to the voters. And so from day one, he'll be prepared to lead our state.
And I want to show you a recent tweet that Putnam tweeted earlier. He said, "I have spent my life working to make Florida a better place, and I'd be honored to have your vote today. Find out where you can cast your vote." Of course, people here are hoping that they're going to be celebrating a win tonight. Reporting live, Marisela Burgos, ABC Action News.
Marisela, thank you. And Ron DeSantis is the president's pick for governor, and he's hoping the Trump effect pays off tonight.
That's right. And ABC Action News reporter Julie Salomon is hearing from his supporters right now. Julie, we're just slowly getting some results. What's the mood out there? Are you hearing about it?
Well, pretty exciting out here right now. You can hear a couple cheers behind me, so the results are coming in. Now, Ron DeSantis made a 5-city stop campaigning yesterday. He stopped in 5 cities, including Pinellas County, where he grew up. President Trump endorsing Santos, and you can hear it. You can hear the cheers. The cheers are in this room, and President Trump again endorsing Santos, which gave him a stronger lead in the polls. Again, DeSantis stopping in 5 cities, including Pinellas County, where he grew up. That is the latest live here in Orlando. Julie Salmon, ABC Action News.
All right, Julie, thank you. And our Paul LeGrone is getting some perspective on the results so far that are slowly starting to come in now, finally.
Yeah, he's joined by 2 guests here in studio. Paul?
Yeah, we are here with our resident political expert, Dr. Susan McManus from USF, and former Representative Jim Davis. And Jim, you have been in this very position here tonight. It was 12 years ago, give or take a week today, that you were actually running for governor. What is it like for a candidate on a night like tonight?
It's pure adrenaline. I mean, we are such a large, diverse state, and every one of these candidates has been running around the state until they're utterly exhausted, but also gratitude. It takes a team, and you'll see all these candidates tonight express immense appreciation to a team of people that have stuck with them.
Very different races on both sides. Dr. McManus, on the Republican side, this race for the DeSantis perspective has been framed as sort of running against the establishment in Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam, who represents that in Tallahassee. Play this out for me. If the results break toward DeSantis tonight, and early indications, that I stress early indications, are that DeSantis is indeed ahead in total votes right now, but that is just a snapshot as we sit here right now. But if the results go his way, what does that tell you about the Florida electorate and the power of an endorsement from Donald Trump?
Well, it definitely speaks volumes to the power of this president to be able to get Republicans that didn't used to vote in midterms to turn out to vote and vote for his candidates. He's had a lot of success in special elections and also in a couple governor's races, and he hopes this is the 3rd one that he can actually affect who gets the nomination. But there'll be some Republicans that'll be disappointed. You know, it's not going to put the party back together. Both parties have divisions. It'll take a while to put Humpty Dumpty back together again for each of these parties, including the Republicans.
On the Democratic side, I just checked the big board, guys, and early indications are that Gwen Graham is also ahead so far. That is following the script that we expected to play out. But we did see a lot of energy in Andrew Gillum's campaign in the days leading up to tonight. This is not unlike the paradox that perhaps Hillary Clinton faced in the national election in 2016, where she saw Bernie Sanders representing what many people thought was maybe the soul of the Democratic Party. Do you think that Gwen Graham, if she does go on to win tonight, will have to acknowledge that the energy may be with a candidate like Gillum, and what does that do for her going forward?
She is going to look at the progressives in the state. There's a large number of Democrats who call themselves progressives. She's going to have to work them into her campaign, appeal to them. A lot of those progressives are younger voters, and turning younger voters out in a midterm election, a non-presidential, is a challenge. But there too you see divisions within the Democratic Party. This is the most competitive party primaries that we've had for governor in I don't know when.
Long time.
You were 7 points away from taking the governor's mansion in 2006. And you had the endorsement of former President Bill Clinton and former Governor Bob Graham. So it is more than just the endorsement, right? It does come down to message and who the people trust.
Getting your message out. And one of the things Gwen Graham has done, unlike any other candidate, she really hasn't focused on the president, whether you love or hate the president. She's talked about what she would do as governor of Florida. And if she wins tonight, that will be while she wins. It also make her very competitive in the general election.
Yeah, and 2 contrasting styles, to say the least. Again, if this plays out according to the very early numbers we are seeing so far. Jameis and Wendy, I'll send it back to you. I'll check the big board. When you guys come back to me, I'll break it down county by county.
All right, thank you, Paul. So we're getting our first results. So let's take a look now at the Republican race for governor at this point, with 1% of the precincts reporting. We're still getting some large numbers here. Ron DeSantis with an early lead, 63% of the vote to Adam Putnam's 30% of the vote. And you can see Bob White and Timothy Devine there trailing as well. On the Democratic side, Wendy?
These are still the other 4 Republican nominees. But if we go to the Democratic page, there you see them. Gwen Graham leading the pack, 38% to Philip Levine with 23%. Early on in early polling, it showed that they were going to be in a dead heat, and it looks like they're number 1 and number 2.
All right, and State Attorney General on the Republican side, Ashley Moody, 52% to Frank White's 48%. Again, 1% of the precincts reporting.
And for State Attorney on the Democratic side, Sean Shaw with 68% of the vote versus Ryan Torrens with 32%. Again, just 1% of the precincts reporting. Now let's go back to Paul for reaction from our analysts as well as you're going to break it down county by county, aren't you?
Right. We've got the numbers here on the map. I want to start with the Democrats. You guys will come back to me a little later for the Republicans and how that's shaping up. Color-coded here and the names that you know, Philip Levine, Andrew Gillum, Gwen Graham. Here's what I was talking about so far. Gwen Graham has 32,000 total votes. Andrew Gillum, 15,000. Philip Levine with 19,000. Again, though, you can't make too much of these numbers because this is very, very early. Let's drill down to Florida and see if we can break this down county by county on the state view. And here we go, zooming in. These are the counties that are showing up in the shade of Gwen Graham right now, meaning she is ahead in those counties. None showing up yet in the Tampa Bay area, and the green right there color-coded for Philip Levine, which is closer to his base of South Florida, where he would be drawing his strength from. And let me just drill down on Hillsborough right now, nothing showing up. They are still tabulating those numbers as we speak. I mean, not to speculate too much, but you have to wonder if with the rain and the lightning that we did see a little bit earlier, could that be a factor in perhaps just a little bit of a delay in getting these numbers in? But they will be in soon enough. But that is the headline as we stand here right now. Wendy.
All right, Paul, that's right. With 1% of the precincts reporting, we still have a long night ahead of us for sure. ABC Action News is live on the air and on your favorite streaming device as the results come in.
And when we come back, we're at the watch parties for the Democratic candidates for Florida governor. We'll check in with them right after the break.
ABC Action News is always on. Watch non-stop coverage of Democracy 2018 right now on your favorite streaming device. Download the ABC Action News app.